Hi, I'm Sandy,
And I'm Andrew.
and we welcome you to our channel because we're here to tell you our keto story. We've been on our journey for about
Since January.
middle of
For
January. And as of today, what is it? We're June 18th, June 18th. I'm down 52 pounds.
And I'm down to 128, which is less than I've weighed since I was in high school.
Yeah, because what was your normal comfortable weight? It was mostly between 140 and 150?
Yeah, generally. Although I did, at a couple points since my 20s, got up to 185 pounds. And that was not good.
That was the most.
That was the most I've ever weighed. And now I'm down to a weight that I didn't think I would get. But the key to it was changing our diet.
That's right. And it wasn't adding to it, it was subtracting from it.
I didn't believe it was possible, but I started my journey by giving up sugar, all sugar. I had to ease myself out with a little bit of honey in my tea at the beginning, but now I just drink black coffee with salt. It's great. It's awesome.
And you used to have a couple of teaspoons of sugar in your
I used to
coffee
have
every morning?
I used to have a tablespoon of sugar in my coffee every morning. And I'd have 2, 3, 4 cups of coffee. Figure it out.
And we have a lifetime to reflect on the changes to the standard American diet since we were children in the 1960s. Drastic changes happened in how food was processed and delivered to the public and how it was marketed. Calories have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, well.
Okay, it's not calories in, calories out. It's not how many calories you eat. It's what kind of calories you eat. Because guess what? Unlike the lies of the food processors, we know the truth that there are good calories and bad calories.
For about 19 years, I was a vegetarian. Ovo-lacto, eggs, cheese. And I never really felt healthy. I had irritable bowel. I never had heartburn, but I never really had a lot of energy either. And then I decided to go back to eating meat, and it was a phenomenal difference. And now I've cut my carbs and all refined foods out of my diet. Most carbs, I still eat a few, and I cheat once in a while.
We're only human.
But I have become more carnivore than keto, and it's awesome. And Sandy is such a wonderful cook, and she keeps me very well fed. And even though I'm eating a lot of fatty meat, which is delicious, I still...
He lost weight.
I lost weight. I've been maintaining about 128 now for...
the past 2-3 weeks.
Yeah. So
yeah, we were kind of
plateaued.
concerned that he was losing too much, and we didn't want him to continue to lose. We are at a special point in our lives because 6 months ago when we started this journey, it was at the same time that I retired and that Andrew, due to 2 accidents that he had in 2020, became disabled and went on disability. And so our...
That's the disability right there.
Yeah, he can't bend that thumb joint anymore. He cut it on a table saw in his workshop, and it healed. It fused the joint open, as well as having a tree fall on him last June. So we now have all the time in the world to focus on our health. And now that our retirement and disability funds are coming regularly, we have the money to buy healthy foods. Because buy local. Cutting out sugar means cutting out all refined foods. It's not just about adding table sugar to your coffee, because they hide it in everything.
In your cereal, in your bread,
in your spaghetti sauce,
barbecue sauce, any kind of sauce,
salad dressing,
any pre-made sauce that you buy will have sugar, and it's not going to be called sugar.
There's 56 different names that the food manufacturers use to disguise how much sugar is in their products on the food labels.
If it has high fructose corn syrup, avoid that. It's poison.
Yes, high fructose corn syrup is a poison. It's addictive, it's toxic, and it should not be allowed to be in the food supply.
It ruined my teeth.
And you got a cataract after being ovolacto. Yes, 2 thick cataracts in his 40s on his eyes for 20 years, almost 20 years of being a vegetarian. The proper human diet has plenty of animal proteins, fish proteins, oily fish, saturated meat. Fat doesn't make you fat. Sugar makes you fat.
And for thin guys, it's hidden all on the inside.
Yeah, it's having a metabolic disease, a metabolic syndrome disease of high blood pressure, fatty liver, cancer. High blood pressure can all be attributed to sugar, and you don't have to be obese to have that happen to you. It's called TOFI, TOFI, thin on the outside, fat on the inside.
And that's how I was. I had the pot belly, okay? I've also given up drinking beer, high source of sugar. But I had the pot belly, so once I changed my diet, slowly it went away, and
you feel much better now.
I feel so much better, and it was all internal fat.
And we eased into it. You know how everyone, January 1st, they've got the resolutions and they're going to go through and throw out the bad foods and this and that. And we couldn't do that. So we eased into it. So the last week of December, the first 2 weeks of January, we used up the bag of potatoes, used up the last of the pancake mix and the flour, and the bag of sugar that...
well, we still have a little bit of that.
Yeah, because during the 2020, which was mostly having us all under medical martial law lockdown, I went, before we had our health epiphany and our lifestyle change, I went on a baking binge, and
we were going to the food pantry.
And the food pantry gives you processed foods that make you fat and sick.
I had to give up my comfort food, macaroni and cheese.
Mashed potatoes.
With garlic.
Tater tots, French fries.
Garlic's good. Garlic is good. Potatoes are not so good. Although sweet potatoes are great if you slice them thin and bake them.
that's how we're keeping Andrew's calories up now, because he doesn't need to lose weight. I need to lose weight. So
And she is.
but that means that while he might be able to have sweet potato chips baked in the oven with dinner, I have to not eat the sweet potatoes and keep to the vegetables and the meats that I know are not going to spike my blood sugar, spike my insulin, which spikes my blood sugar. I'm very, very conscious now of not eating foods that spike my insulin, like high fructose corn syrup and table sugar, and even
any wheat products,
juices, fruits, and honey. All have to be restricted or eliminated. No, we're not eating that way. And it's hard, but we're in our 60s. Okay, if I was in my 30s and told that to be healthy, I would have to give up fruit juice for life or anything else for life at that time. And thank God I've always been weight conscious, so I never was addicted to Coca-Cola or any other kind of carbonated soda, because though that's a killer. If you want type 2 diabetes, just start swilling a liter of Coke every day. You'll get there real soon.
For me, it was orange juice. I love to have a glass of orange juice in the morning. If we went out to the restaurant, I'd have the large orange juice. And there were times that I was doing myself double damage by combining orange juice and vodka. So it wasn't, I pretty much given up alcohol. Cocktail once every week or so. But
well, because you were having 2 to 3 beers a night regularly.
Sometimes more. And I wouldn't drink a few beers and then go out and drive. I drank and stayed home.
Now, I know I was pre-diabetic for years, and it was about 10, 11 years ago that I noticed I couldn't sleep through the night because I was having to get up and pee 2 or 3 times. I was at about 350 pounds back then, and I started doing a little bit of research because I knew that was a pre-diabetic symptom, not being able to, sleep through the night without having to pee and peeing a lot. So I did a little research and I changed my diet and I stopped eating bread at that time. And also gave up nightshades, peppers, and tomato sauce. So, and that also meant, no pasta. So pasta and tomato sauce, we used to eat that regularly, and so we stopped. And I started taking walks. And, it was only like once or twice a week. It wasn't even that much.
Too.
I'm talking about when we lived on Stewart Avenue 10, 11 years ago.
Yeah.
And I lost 50 pounds then over a 2-3 year period. I guess it was actually a few months. And, but it's okay, why couldn't I keep it up? Why did I, gain that weight back? Because I'm addicted to sugar. I'm addicted to carbohydrates. I'm carb addicted. And as many people are in this society. And it's addicting people is done on purpose by the processed food manufacturers, though they will lie through their teeth about it, just like the tobacco manufacturers and producers lied about the link between addiction and cancer and their products. Sugar manufacturers and sugar refiners, they're doing the same thing. And I haven't even started talking about the evil industrial seed oils that they call vegetable oils, which really aren't vegetables. That was a marketing scam too.
So is the war against meat and that cows are creating the greenhouse gases? Ruminating animals, cows, horses, sheep.
The flatulence from cattle is more than industrialization. Sure it is.
What it is, okay, it's carbon dioxide.
Yeah.
That's a heavy gas. It settles into the ground. Their urine and feces replenish the soil. Can't say the same for those big fields of corn and soybeans.
Because the food manufacturers use technology. They're the enemies of localization, of natural farming, organic farming, they are the rapists of the earth. They are the resource extractors. So corn, or soybeans,
grapeseed oil,
wheat. No, I'm talking about the subsidies that our government subsidizes, the big four that are poisoning us. Wheat, corn, oats, and soy. There is absolutely no reason that those foods need to be subsidized.
or consumed by humans.
Nope. Considering that most corn grown in Illinois feed corn for cattle.
GMO as well.
Yeah, and why do they feed cattle grain? Because it makes them fat. It makes human beings fat too.
Yeah, it does.
So when we began, when we finally went through the last of our foodstuffs that we knew we weren't going to be eating anymore, we did go through the refrigerator and the pantry, and we removed all the canned foods, the boxed foods, and we didn't really have that much in the refrigerator, but when we went through the salad dressings, they all had those poisonous vegetable oils. All of them had soy and the mayonnaise too, and also had added, hidden added sugars. So we threw all of them out, and we went and bought several bottles of apple cider vinegar and extra virgin olive oil, also coconut oil.
And we eat a lot of sauerkraut. I never used to like it, but it's amazing how delicious it is. Delicious it is.
Yes, fermented vegetables. So we're, it was just amazing. We got over our sugar cravings very, very quickly within a week,
hard.
because we replaced what we had been eating with real food, with fatty meat, oily fish, Alaskan salmon. Yes, grass-fed ground beef and steaks, and sardines and mackerel and anchovies.
Never, ever eat an Impossible Burger. That will kill you.
Yeah, it is not healthy for you. They use omega-6 soybean and canola oil to give it the fat that it needs to give you a satiating flavor.
It's impossible to survive.
Yes! Impossible to live if you eat impossible meat.
If Bill Gates wants it, he can eat it.
Yeah, he could eat it. Bill Gates could eat it because, funny how all of a sudden I hear that Bill Gates is rushing around trying to buy up all the agricultural and farmland that he can. Not only does he want to be king of the vaccines, he wants to be in total control of our food supply and make sure that we only eat non-organic, poisonous, processed foods so that we'll be sick and we'll need all his vaccines. I'm not buying it.
No.
Well, that's all for now.
Yep, it's been a pleasure.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.